Hey everybody, Jim and Scott here. We're at San Diego Comic-Con. We saw the Fox Studios movies panel today, which had some very cool stuff like, X-Men Days of Future Past. The entire cast, it felt like it, the entire cast all showed up. Everybody.
About 100 mutants on that stage.
Yeah, it was insane. It was Jackman, Stewart, McKellen, Fassbender, McAvoy, Halle Berry, who is like 8 months pregnant or whatever, just got married in Europe. She came all the way here, and a Paquin, everybody. You can read the story. Everyone is in it. But what was Hugh Jackman, obviously. But what was really cool was the footage that they showed, and it really gave us a real sense now of this particular adaptation of that famous comic book storyline, what's been tweaked and all that. So give the folks a quick rundown of sort of the world of the original characters, what it's like now, and the characters from First Class and sort of what's going on in their world now.
So it looks like the original cast, Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, that crew, they were living in some kind of a darker future world where things have gone badly. They're all wearing like body armor and
it looked very militant, and I couldn't tell if that was supposed to be like the mutant concentration camp outfits and they'd escaped. I don't know.
Yeah, but Xavier tells Hugh Jackman, who now has some gray streaks in his hair, but it takes place in the future, he has to travel back in time to his younger self, I guess, is what they're getting at. And he has to change history so that the war that they're fighting never happens.
Yeah.
Which is tragic.
He's got to convince his...
Right.
Wolverine has to convince young Professor Xavier to get back in the game. Apparently, he has lost sort of his will to fight for mutant kind.
Yeah.
This Xavier
and he looks like a mess, right?
He looks like Serpico. He looks very self-pitying. He was smoking at one point. Like, he just seems like he's kind of given up.
Yeah.
And
Wolverine has to teach him what to live for, the way Xavier did that for Wolverine back in the original X-Men movie.
And so it was a really nice kind of book ending. But then the whole sizzle reel piece of it, where we saw the mutants in action. We see Omar Sy as Bishop.
Yep.
We saw
Blink.
We saw Ellen Page back as Kitty Pryde. There was Evan Peters was there as Quicksilver.
Yeah, Quicksilver. Storm's working her lightning again.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And then we see, of course, Fassbender, and Jennifer Lawrence was there as Mystique.
And she was a very much more Rebecca Romaine type Mystique with all the acrobatics and fighting skills.
And sort of sneaking into facilities. I believe she's even in a military outfit at one point. Mm-hmm. And this is basically Nixon era Washington. You see an actor as Nixon at one point, and it looks like they're trying to shuffle the president to safety, too, at one point. So it was a very cool stuff, and they were playing the Inception theme music over it.
Which worked
Not
really
the wrong part, but the more moody part. And it was really good. It really set up the tone of like this apocalyptic, frightening future for them.
The only thing we didn't see was Sentinels.
Right. There wasn't even a hint. But Peter Dinklage was there, and he did confirm that he is indeed playing Bolivar Trask,
the creator of the Sentinels.
And we see one quick shot of him, and he's got the full Ron Burgundy look going on there.
This is the 1970s now. Yeah. So
and so we then, obviously the Fox panel started with the Wolverine. Now, the Wolverine opens up next week. A lot of you folks are probably going to get to see it very soon. But the real kind of treat really was X-Men Days of Future Past. Yeah. But it wasn't all mutants at the Fox panel. There were also apes.
Yeah.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Tell us a little bit about what we saw.
They just showed us some real. It takes so long for them to composite the visual effects of making the apes, so they didn't have much to show us. But we did see again it's a post-apocalyptic world.
Right.
Humanity is trying to survive. It looks like Jason Clarke is the human character in this one, and
he's like the good guy one because Gary Oldman is the bad guy. Kind of like he has this whole speech about like. We went, it's been 8 years. There were 4 years of, I believe he said, battling the virus and then battling each other. So clearly there was some sort of civil conflict amongst the surviving humans.
The virus from the end of the first movie that wiped out most of humanity.
Right.
But for some reason they're looking for Caesar now. And Jason Clarke is in the forest calling for Caesar. And then the very quick sizzle reel ended with just a close-up of Caesar slowly pulling out, and we see him surrounded by apes.
They're all up in the trees, too, and they're just kind of like...
And I thought they had on war paint. And Caesar looks older. He's got some gray hair, too.
Yeah. It did look like he had war paint on. I couldn't tell, though, if it was war paint or just full silver hair, but it's 10 years later after Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Caesar didn't say anything. The apes didn't speak. Andy Serkis did say that the apes are beginning to communicate more with each other now, that they're kind of figuring out their own civilization as the human civilization is just struggling to survive. So it looks like a very cool movie. I can't wait to see it. We're both huge Apes fans and X-Men fans. So overall, thumbs up on the Fox panel today?
Absolutely. It was worth not eating all day, wasn't it?
Right. I mean, just to see all those X-Men on stage together was amazing. So thank you for watching. Keep it locked here to IGN.com for all your Marvel, both Fox and Marvel, movie news. We'll catch you next time.